Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming today. Just going to do a brief introduction of the speaker. So it's my pleasure to have you with us today at the OARC portal for this XRI event supported by DataX and OARC. We are honored to welcome Pier Paolo Bellini, Associate Professor of Sociology of Cultural Processes at the University of Molise. To lead our discussion on immersive communication for the enhancement of cultural heritage opportunities and questions. Professor Bellini is a distinguished scholar in the Sociology of Communication and Media, recently publishing The Creative Gesture in 2024. His extensive research bridges the gap between symbolic, expressiveness, and modern technology. And he is recently been focusing on how tools like virtual reality, augmented reality, and the metaverse can transform our connection to history. Today, he will share insights into his latest work, including an innovative project utilizing AI-driven avatars to guide visitors through regional archaeological sites. So join me in welcoming.
And good morning to all. I thank you for this invitation, which caught me a bit off guard. Your academic world is much more vibrant than ours. I was very impressed by the warm welcome Francesca extended to me, as well as the trust she has shown in my contribution to your work. I hope I can live up to all of this, despite the limitation of my modest English. I apologize for this. My name is Pier Paolo Bellini. I am Italian. I live in northern Italy, in Bologna, that is the first university of the world. And I work as a sociologist of communication and media in a small university of the South Italy. This brief talk aims to share some experiences in enhancing cultural heritage in my country, southern Italy, through immersive technology. The two projects we have completed over the past 5 years, as well as the one we are about to undertake, have certainly had a significant impact on our territory, successfully balancing scientific research and dissemination. The first project I will present is called My Experience Molise and aimed to enhance four archaeological sites managed by our university. The richness of our heritage, also not widely known, is exemplified by this short clip, which has fascinated several professionals in the field. At the beginning of the project, we needed to clarify our objectives. We considered it essential to focus on accessibility, addressing its 4 dimensions. Physical, the terrain, as you have seen, is very rugged. Economic, reducing barriers created by financial limitation. Cognitive, through accessibility, must ensure the possibility of understanding the meaning of the cultural objects being visited. And digital, technology serving accessibility for everyone, especially disadvantaged groups. Within the project, our team was responsible for creating a narrative, a storytelling approach that would make what is usually reserved for specialists understandable the general public. The complex and delicate nature of this task is perfectly captured by a quote attributed to Albert Einstein. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. In fact, our work had to interface with 2 professional groups, archaeologists and IT specialists, to produce a proposal suitable for the general public. I believe you can all understand the extreme complexity of simplification. The 2 strategies that were practically essential for this teaching work were interdisciplinarity and creativity. I will focus particularly in the latter, on which I have spent several years of research, proposing it following the Italian sociologist Vilfredo Pareto as the ability to create a new connection between known elements. Similarly, Steve Jobs used the expression connecting dots. Likewise, Newton connected the falling apple from a tree in Cambridge to universal gravitation. These reflections lead us in May 2024 to organize an international and interdisciplinary conference precisely on the theme of the creative gesture, which brought together a wealth of contributions now being published by Pilgrim.
Il concetto di gesto è un concetto che assume sempre più importanza perché vuol dire che il nostro ragionamento non è solo concettuale, ma è anche incarnato e nelle nostre azioni, che quelle più semplici, anche i gesti nel senso del gesticolare, portano comunque un pezzo di conoscenza e di ragionamento.
Il convegno The Creative Gesture è nato come fioritura di un progetto molto più ampio che si chiama My Experience Molise e il punto di partenza all'occasione è stata quella degli scavi archeologici della regione Molise. Nello stesso tempo abbiamo voluto dedicare un approfondimento di carattere accademico non esclusivamente sull'archeologia, ma dedicato a quella grande capacità che chiamiamo creatività. outputs of the projects were three: a website, a smartphone application, and an immersive experience. The website provides, in addition to recordings of numerous seminars, various opportunities for visitors to our region, a geolocated map of 4 major cultural sites, and access to visit of our archaeological excavations. The same functions are available through the mobile app. You can find it on the Apple Store and Google Play, useful for visitors who want to access them on site. As for their immersive experience, in this first project, we limited ourselves to offering a rather breathtaking view of our cultural heritage captured in 360 degrees by drone. It was therefore a highly emotional experience, for some even disorienting, but ultimately still passive. The Pico headsets used are certainly very effective emotionally, but do not allow for the interaction among participants that we later achieved with the second project. The CPverso project marked our entry into metaverse. By moving to MetaQuest 3, we were forced to make a leap in skills, also considering the complexity and delicacy of this technology. From basic issues to like battery charging, joystick use, headset setup, network coverage, to the difficulty to usability for the general public, and the need to rely on accurate modeling of created environments. The real test of all these operational constraints came on a specific day last June during the most attended festival in our city, Campobasso. If you visit, you will see almost magical spectacle of these children floating in the sky. Our university decided to occupy a public space to showcase our research. After the rector's inauguration, about 1,200 people visited our exhibition stand to try the immersive experience, something entirely new in a small southern context. You can imagine what it means to provide immersive experiences to over 1,000 people with only 8 Pico and 12 MetaQuest devices. We quickly and necessarily learned the ropes. Now, I will take you on a quick tour of the metaverse environment dedicated to the beautiful archaeological park of Sepino. If you would like to participate actively, you can enter using your smartphone via this QR code that you need to have a special app installed. We can try, but I don't know if you have special app installed in your smartphone. And I can see if you are here, because I am into the first room. There is no one now. We designed a conference room to welcome visitors. Many schools, hey, there is something. Good morning for this. We designed a conference room to welcome visitors, many school classes, where we can use a projector screen exactly as in a real room, simply through the screen share function. For example, this, okay. We can see my computer in the screen. Okay. On the day of the platform inauguration, 50 high school students were present, and our rector and projects leader gave an introduction using their avatar, surrounded by characters performing acrobatics while we're trying to learn the control as you. Okay. From the conference room, we can move through a dedicated channel to the theater if anyone is inside. Yes, please follow me by entering the portal on the right. Theater. Okay, you can travel. You are here. We can enter the theater.
Buongiorno a tutti e benvenuti. Mi chiamo Rufus, sono l'architetto del teatro di Sepinum ed è un onore poter raccontare la mia opera, la mia visione, il mio sogno fatto pietra. Siete pronti? Seguitemi, c'è tanto da scoprire.
In our case, we presented an excerpt from a comedy of the Latin playwright Plautus, that is it was projected in the screen on the theater with the people.
Hanno aperto.
Okay, is enough. So, at the end of the visit, there is a poem that is in the end of the visit, there is also a simple exhibition.
Eppure, questo teatro non è rimasto fermo nel tempo. Dopo l'impero fu riutilizzato. Si costruirono case rurali, stalle, fienili. Le sue pietre furono riusate per costruire nuovi muri, gradini, architravi. Questa pratica è stata comune fin dal XVI secolo, quando le masserie iniziarono a sorgere spontaneamente in tutta l'area di Sepino. Ogni pietra qui racconta più di una storia. E oggi, dopo 2000 anni, il teatro ha ripreso a vivere. Le case rurali costruite sopra la cavea ospitano il museo della città e del territorio di Sepino. All'interno si trovano oggetti e reperti, dalla preistoria al Medioevo. Le vecchie case contadine, con forni, camini, lavandini in pietra, sono diventate sale espositive. Alcune ospitano mostre temporanee, la casa lunga, la casa delle cucine, la casa delle colonne. E il bello è che il museo non è finito, continuerà a crescere. Nuove stanze saranno aperte negli anni.
And we return to reality. We have just obtained a new project called Molise Meta Heritage, which represents another step forward for us. Thanks to previous experience, it will allow us to further develop what has already been achieved. It focuses on 2 additional sites in the region, one of Samnite origin and one from the medieval period. Our previous experience in the metaverse suggested 2 immediate new operational goals: improving graphical quality, essential for attracting young people, and using artificial intelligence to create a guide avatar capable of accompanying visits and responding to visitors' questions with scientifically reliable answers. From a scientific research perspective, I would like to conclude with some reflections, many sociological, but inevitably interdisciplinary, on what we have studied, created, and observed over the years. I will therefore highlight some key concepts that summarize issues requiring ongoing investigation that I want to share with you. We are aware that our point of observation is limited, just as we are aware that the challenge posed by the extraordinary possibilities of AI affects all fields of human activity. Here are the key themes of our current reflection. The concept of interface. Glasses are an interface, just like most tools created by humans over millennia. Tools have served, and largely still serve, to create a more effective and efficient relationship with physical reality. Through the whole, one could control the hardness of the soil while breaking up the cloth. Through the hammer, the shoemaker perceived the consistency of the leather while working on it. With the impressive development of virtual reality, something essential is changed in the concept, use, and purpose of interfaces. When the relationship with the world becomes a relationship with the interface, the processes of modeling, experience, and conceptualization are transformed. Second, the concept, or rather the experience of presence. A few decades ago, asking "where am I" would have been considered madness. You are where your body is. Today, it has become necessary, even from a legal perspective. It is now common in specialized contexts to distinguish between physical presence and subjective presence. Due to this unusual condition, the most widely shared definition of presence today is perceptual illusion of non-mediation. Speaking of perceptual illusion means entering the realm of emotions. The now well-established emotional term makes it increasingly complex to define the criteria by which humans distinguish what exists from what is fantasy or feeling. Emotion thus becomes increasingly powerful in shaping perception, bypassing the critical attitude traditionally referred to as catharsis, the ability to regulate and transform emotion by distancing oneself from it. Today, instead, people tend to simply experience emotion, to be, so to speak, inside it. The involvement must be total, even better if it is physical. Closely related to emotion is the theme of play and gamification. We must not forget that technological and especially economic resources that made the metaverse and immersive technologies possible derive from the case of a thriving video game market. The interesting attempt linked to Serious Games initiative promoting the use of video games for serious issues and serious educational games used for teaching and learning point to promising direction, but they are currently unable to answer the major underlying question: the critical transition from the ludic to the ludiform. If a game is such insofar as it is an end in itself, how do we resolve the contradiction of using it for other purposes? And what happens when studying or working no longer allows us to play? McGonigal suggests turning all life and society into a game. We may not live to see that wonder, but the problem of extrinsic motivation remains. A desired outcome separate from the activity itself. Gamification is intrinsically linked to the extrinsic motivation. Finally, a millennia-old problem. Virtual reality can create increasingly convincing words. Perhaps Zuckerberg's theme of an alternative world has faded. We will not replace physical reality, but immersion will become increasingly widespread. There is no turning back. The question is, how will we build these parallel worlds? According to which criteria, which rules? Algo-ethics is a current issue addressed unsatisfactorily so far. The virtual environment of gaming and entertainment raises questions that currently remain unanswered. Even in idyllic simulation, we are playing God. Yesterday, I visited Las Vegas, and I think that the last question, the two last questions, was very current and real. And I finished. I thank you for your